Hey, I'm Bill Sindelar, and you are watching Blister, where the action's big and my ego is even bigger. Lock the doors and hide the children, because we have got another M-rated episode of your favorite action show. Now, we're going to catch up with all of your favorite dinosaur hunters this side of Turok in Dino Crisis 3. We'll also get up close and cozy with the hunter in 2 separate adventures, and try our hand at some covert ops with an elite band of soldiers in Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield. Then we'll bring it on home with a pair of games that will simultaneously scare the daylights and nightlights out of you. Clock Tower 3 and X-Files Resist or Serve. Trust no one except Bill Sindelar. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get this party started with a game that combines 2 of my favorite things, Belgium and comic books. Belgian author Jean-Man Aum's graphic novel 13 has been brought to the wonderful world of video games. This may not be the first game based on a graphic novel, but it is the first graphic novel come to life that takes onomatopoeia to a new level. So let's hit it! Boom, pam, pow, smack, Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, the conspiracy never ends. You can't think of stopping when the chasing never ends. 13 is a first-person shooter. 13 could be fun. If you're into cel-shaded mysteries, 13 could be the one.
You embody a man, 13, who wakes up on a beach and he has no memories of his past. The only clues he has is a tattoo on his shoulder, the 13 tattoo, and a key for a deposit box.
The president has been assassinated, and it turns out that you've actually been accused of the president's assassination. You have a number of people after you who want to kill you. Some of them undercover, some of them part of the government, and some of them possibly part of both. You don't know. There's a lot of double-crossing, betrayal, a lot of distrust.
It's a really challenge for him is to recover his identity, to recover his past, and to recover his honor, because he really wants to know if he really shot the president or not. So it's a big suspense for the player, because you never know on which side you are.
If this sounds like Matt Damon's Bourne Identity plot, well, I never saw it, but the story is based on a very popular French comic book called, what else? 13. And the kind people at Ubisoft have tried to make 13 as comic booky as possible.
With the comic book style, it's really easy for us to highlight some elements to be really more violent without being gore. We adapt all the characters and backgrounds into comic books, so we use the cel shading techniques to feel like a cartoon, not like a cartoon like a Zelda game, but really like a comic book, a violent comic book. And we also use all the techniques with pop-ups and windows appearing each time during the game. So for example, if you use your crossbow to shoot someone, you shoot it and suddenly you got pop, 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 3 pop-ups showing the horror entering into the head of the enemies.
Poor 13. As he tries to uncover the layers and layers of mystery, the flashbacks will appear quicker than you can say electric Kool-Aid acid test.
You can see an object or a place, and suddenly you recover a part of your past. So you got a wonderful effect, and you see the whole level in black and white. And this is a flashback, and you are still in. You can still play it. It's a scripted event, so you are playing in your past. This is really great.
There are 2 ways to go through this game: guns blasting in a blaze of glory, or sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Both have their place. You can either go through the front doors and fire away like a young Antonio Banderas, or you can find alternative means for a silent approach like an old Antonio Banderas. In addition to your basic FPS weapons like guns and hand grenades, you'll be able to use any item you come across as a weapon. A shard of glass? Use it. A chair? Go stone cold on your enemies. And here's something even Bruce Willis can get behind. A feature called Sixth Sense. Sort of your own personal spider sense. You'll know whenever an enemy is coming down a hallway or sneaking up behind you by the tap, tap, tap visual that pops up. I wish that existed in real life. Or does it?
13 is the FPS shooter of this fall. It's got style, it's got multiplayer, it's got such a great story that's going to really drive gamers in to have a wonderful gaming experience.
13 will be available on all systems. It's 13, an FPS game. 13 with a cel-shaded frame. 13. What is his name? He's got to get out of this place. He'll go running to solve this case. Oh yeah. 13 looks awesome, but it serves a much higher purpose than just entertaining us. It also teaches us that there is more to Belgium than Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, not much more, but you know, there's much more. And speaking of actors that you'd like to see jettisoned into outer space, let's head to the cosmos for a look at Dino Crisis 3. That's right, we are headed to outer space with the dinosaur game. Think of the third game in the survival horror series as a hybrid of Jurassic Park and Alien. But Sigourney Weaver ain't gonna save you this time. Put away your books on paleontology and archaeology, ditch those lectures on evolutionary theory and natural science, and definitely get rid of those romance novels. For it is I who have discovered the truth about the sudden disappearance of dinosaurs. It wasn't a giant rock from outer space slamming into the earth that made the dinosaurs go the way of the dodo. It was space travel. The dinos simply learned how to fly. Well, it was either that or they just couldn't sit through the second and third Jurassic Park movies. Enter Patrick. He and his team are sent out into space in the year 2548 to investigate an enormous ship that has appeared out of nowhere. Of course, things go foobar for Patrick, and he's left alone on the ship along with hundreds, nay, thousands of dinosaurs. Where did the ship come from? What happened to the original crew? And why, for the love of Pete, are the dinosaurs roaming the quiet countryside?
We haven't given away too much for the storyline yet with Dino Crisis 3, but I can tell you the setting is in space.
Thank you.
And it's a gigantic ship that can transform, and the environments on this ship are unbelievable. They're the biggest environments I've ever seen. All the dinosaurs on the ship are mutated, and there's quite a decent variety of them.
The first two games for the PlayStation were more like Capcom's Resident Evil series, with the nasty dinos taking the place of zombies. This Xbox-exclusive Dino 3-quel is not only in full 3D, but it also boasts a few other improvements, namely faster action. Patrick has a healthy supply of miniature robot wasps that attack the dinosaurs, an auto-targeting system, a first-person mode, and a jetpack.
You can use your jetpack to not only get to higher places, but you can zip across the screen and get away from the dino, turn around, and blast him.
Personally, I like the spaceship flying dinosaur theory the best. It doesn't take much of an imagination to tell people that the dinosaurs are extinct because of a rogue asteroid. But a couple of dinosaurs named Maverick and Goose, I'm so there.
Visually, I guarantee no one will be disappointed. It is, you know, one of the most impressive games I've seen, period.
Those are brave words, my friend. Brave words. Dino Crisis 3 is no routine expedition, and you won't find Marshall, Will, or Holly on this adventure, but you could conceivably run into some slee stacks. Okay, now I know some of you probably need to go Google slee stacks, so I'll give you a chance to go log in. But when you get back, we'll continue our M-rated quest for gaming perfection as we take a look at hunters, both Redeemer and Wayward. Plus, we'll head behind enemy lines with Tom Clancy and his ragtag Rainbow Six Squad in Raven Shield. That's coming up only here on Blister.
G4TV for gamers and TechTV are connecting to form G4 TechTV. Coming May 28th. Stay connected. For more information, go to g4techtv.com.
Here's what's happening on Pulse. 2 years ago, Nintendo cut its ties with Rare, the developer behind Donkey Kong Country. Now there's a rumor that Microsoft-owned Rare is developing for the DS. Plus, nobody does immersive RPGs better than Square Enix, and they were looking to prove it at this year's E3. We'll give you a glimpse of what they had on the show floor. That's what's coming up this week. For all the news in the world of games, make sure to watch what you play right here on Pulse.
G4, the award show for gamers, is starting soon.
Welcome back to Blister. I'm Bill Sindelar. I'm sure my peeps, when we were playing the World of Darkness pen and paper RPGs way back in the day, they never thought that they would see that universe come to life on the Xbox, and yet it did, in the form of Hunter the Reckoning. And now it's back with both Redeemer and Wayward. Let's head to Ashcroft for a session of vampire slaying, and who knows, maybe we'll do some demon slaying and zombie killing while we're at it. As Jean-Claude Van Damme taught us in Double Impact, 2 is always better than 1. That's why Hunter the Reckoning is coming at us with 2 sequels at once. Hunter the Reckoning Wayward for the PS2 and Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer for the Xbox. Both games are multiplayer 3D actioners that teach us that the best way to conquer evil forces is to blow them to pieces. Hunter the Reckoning Wayward for the PS2 takes place in the quiet town Ashcroft 2 years after the first game. The 4 original hunters are summoned back to take care of a resurgence of evil forces and save the innocent Ashcroftians. But come on, you know the deal with fighting these evil forces. They bring the evil boojums, and you bring the melee. It's hunt or be hunted with Wayward's cast of possessed creatures. Take advantage of the magic edges to boost your fighting potential. And when you've got a possessed bat on his last legs, unload. The gameplay in Wayward is centered on a hub where each mission begins and ends. Every pit stop provides an opportunity to choose which level to play next, switch between 4 playable characters, and load up on weapons of evil destruction, including swords, a crossbow, and a submachine gun. All of this should help you drive the evil out of Ashcroft. And you better, because the Xbox sequel Redeemer is on its way. Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer for the Xbox brings us back to the town of Ashcroft a decade later. This time around, an evil corporation has used its consumer products to infect the residents of Ashcroft and turn them into zombies. Again. The good thing is that there's a team of hunters out there to stop them. The great thing about this is that one of the hunters is an 18-year-old hottie named Kaylee. She appeared in the original game as a little girl whose teddy bear became possessed and mauled her parents. And now she's back to get revenge. All 7 playable characters can wield a sword at super speed, and each character also has 5 magic lifts that give them superpowers. To raise the intensity even further, try the multiplayer co-op mode. But be prepared, as you add players, the AI compensates, keeping the difficulty high and tight. Redeemer has plenty of Secret Stone cover as you clean up the town of Ashcroft. Again. Killing the monsters will credit you with monster cards, which you'll be able to use to unlock the 20 playable monsters. Both Wayward and Redeemer will release their evil on the town of Ashcroft again this fall. So get the heck out of Ashcroft, people. Run! Between Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and the Hunter series, we now know exactly what to do when the undead rise from the grave. Play video games. It's hard to prepare for an undead invasion, but there is no such thing as being too prepared when it comes to being part of an elite military squad. And that's exactly where you find yourself in Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield, Tom Clancy's latest, and dare we say, greatest game. Terrorism is at an all-time high, and it seems that only the covert ops team known as Raven Shield can put the world back in balance. In 1998, author Tom Clancy brought to the world of video games a crack commando anti-terrorist unit. Today, the unit survives battling terrorism wherever it can. If you have a problem with terrorists, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield.
The premise of the game is that you're an elite anti-terrorist unit from all around the world. You've got operatives from everywhere, and you basically stop terrorists from doing evil things.
Open door. Yes, sir.
Rainbow Six Squad is great at what they do. Why? Because they use stealth. Behind any door could lie an eager terrorist ready to send you to your final resting place. And I don't mean Tallahassee. The squads plan out their operations. They use teamwork. They use intelligence. They know it's not always the best idea to barge in willy-nilly with guns blazing. Although sometimes it ain't such a bad idea. When the Rainbow Six team is on the move, they'll be well stocked with weaponry. There's no shortage of military hardware with this elite fighting unit.
We've tweaked the weapons out. Basically, before they had about 30 weapons, and they had different varieties of those weapons that gave you about 60 or 70 weapons total. But what we did was we pulled out 57 weapons, the same ones that were before, and we added about 10 more. And then we let you customize the weapon. If you want to put a scope on it, you can. If you want to put a high-capacity magazine or a sound suppressor, or if you want to put a thermal attachment on your sniper rifle, you can. and it's a way of letting players customize the way they play the game.
There's nothing more personally satisfying to any anti-terrorist team than using the flashbang grenade. Obviously, the Rainbow Six Squad has a leader, one that calls the shots. That person could be you. You'll be responsible for the lives of your AI team, and your AI team could save your life. They'll provide you with safe cover and follow your commands to the letter.
Open, smoke, and clear.
Right away, sir.
But the enemy AI won't follow your commands to the letter. They want you dead. They want your family dead. They want your house burned to the ground, which is all the more reason for the Rainbow Six Squad to use care and covertness to reach their objectives. This way, captives will be easier to come by. There's no area of the world that Rainbow Six Squad is afraid of. They'll travel from Switzerland to London to South America and everywhere in between. No weather change or time of day will stop the Rainbow Six Squad. The only thing that stops them is your imagination. By incorporating the new Unreal Engine into the action, Rainbow Six III Raven Shield could be the best game of the series. The locations are realistic and the ragdoll physics incorporated never gets old. Tom Clancy must be very proud. I know I am.
Flashbang, out!
There's nothing better than a flashbang to brighten your day. It's a flashbang. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go stand in the corner and think about what I just said. But that doesn't mean that you should go anywhere, because after the break, we're switching from counter-terror to murderous madman as we rock around the Clock Tower 3. And is the truth out there? We'll find out in X-Files, Resist or Serve. That's coming up only on Blister.
G4 owns you, noob.
G4 TV for gamers and TechTV are connecting to form the only network taking digital entertainment to the next level.
Sound fun?
I love video games.
Plugged in to every aspect of games, gear, gadgets, and gigabytes.
That was unexpected, right?
Okay.
You're watching G4 Tech TV.
G4 Tech TV. Stay connected. Tune in for a sneak peek of Tech TV all week at 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. For more information, go to g4techtv.com.
Welcome back to Blister. I'm David Duchovny. Capcom's new game, Clock Tower 3, sounds like my life story. You play a teenage girl sent away to boarding school. As a young Alyssa Hamilton, your only goal is survival. But unlike Capcom's other survival horror games, you won't have a cache of impressive weapons at your disposal. Instead, you'll have to rely on your wits and holy water to get out of harm's way. And did I mention the ghost that you'll meet along the way? Ghosts. They're in the studio.
My name's Alyssa, and I'm gonna tell you a story about my family. But first, let's go into a dreary medieval castle where serial killers go to find future victims. We'll be safe there.
My sweet Alyssa. I've been waiting so long for this moment.
Get away from me!
Come on, Alyssa, you gotta be more careful, because danger looms around every corner in Clock Tower 3. This edition of the survival horror franchise centers on Alyssa, a 15-year-old British girl with a heart of gold and a serious knack for finding her way into trouble. Against her mother's advice, Alyssa returns to her family's mansion in London to celebrate her 15th birthday. But it turns out her friends are otherwise occupied. Alyssa's London is filled with disturbingly realistic violence and an intensely eerie soundtrack. So, naturally, Alyssa takes cover in safe, comforting places like an abandoned theater and dark alleys, places where she can be sure to never run into, oh no, serial killers!
Alyssa!
Luckily, Clock Tower 3 loads Alyssa up with massive artillery. Alyssa packs 3 splashes of holy water that can momentarily paralyze attackers, and, well, that's it. Besides that, she has all the other options 15-year-old girls have in fighting serial killers. Nothing. Sometimes you run, sometimes you hide, sometimes you're scared. But the key to Clock Tower 3 is keeping your cool while you're running and hiding. When Alyssa gets panicked, she gets dizzy and loses her mobility. And worst of all, it starts to bother her when she gets bludgeoned with a sledgehammer.
Ouch! That hammer hurts.
The best way to keep Alyssa from becoming panicked is to stay away from any action. Of course, serial killers and undead spirits seek out little girls, so you have to run away, crouch, and hide. The most reliable hiding places are behind translucent curtains. No joke. If you can't find such great camouflage, try downing a swig of lavender water, which will settle the panic meter, keeping Alyssa in control. Lavender water. It's calming like a candlelight bubble bath on a Sunday afternoon. Until the serial killers return. Speaking of alone time, Alyssa spends hers solving puzzles to advance the story. In general, they're fairly simple alphanumeric riddles that crack safes and open doors. They may not be too challenging, but at least it's a good reason to finally go out and learn to read. Better than unlocking the safes is unlocking the cutscenes, which are mini slasher movies of the highest quality. Keep on running from the serial killers. And remember, crouching and throwing holy water isn't just for the Pope anymore, it's for Clock Tower 3. The first two games in the Clock Tower series were point-and-click adventures, an acquired taste to be kind. So it's great to see the adventure move in an action-oriented direction. Now, if there's one thing that I've learned from watching TV, is that there's nothing better than watching TV. I've also learned, trust no one. At least that's what Fox Mulder taught me. Call the lone gunman. X-Files Resist or Serve is coming to consoles. So let's check in with TV's greatest pair of FBI agents and see what wacky hijinks that they've gotten themselves into this time. The truth is right here.
Those fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare.
X-File fans, I want you to know that the truth is that I miss that dry David Duchovny wit and that sly Gillian Anderson grin. But my prayers for a comeback have been answered in the form of the X-Files Resist or Serve. And this time, the truth, you can just shove it up your ass. Thank you. Scripted by Tom Schnauz, a writer on the last two seasons of the series, the game finds Mulder and Scully investigating, here's a shocker, a mystery. Ooh, a paranormal mystery, if you will. Ooh. This is an early version of the game, but as you can see, Mulder and Scully have a slight zombie problem. Their inquisitive ways will set the dynamic duo out on the path of an inhuman killer in Red Falls, Colorado, all the way to Siberia, Russia. Upon their arrival in the snowy wasteland, they will no doubt be confronted by aliens, UFOs, and the ubiquitous black oil. That none too subtle commentary on the cause of troubles in our own world. Resist or Serve is styled after the survival horror hits Resident Evil and Silent Hill, but sports that extra level of paranormal paranoia that only Chris Carter can give it.
Are you telling me we're driving into a witch hunt, Mulder?
If you want to catch witches, you have to go on a witch hunt, Scully.
Both Anderson and Duchovny recorded hours of dialogue, along with the actors behind the voices of the cigarette-smoking man, Skinner, and the ever-present lone gunman. Playing the game will set you out on two different paths. If you choose Mulder, the game will involve more combat elements. As Scully, you will not only be hot, but you will have to solve more puzzles and use your ND skills to perform autopsies on zombies. The two characters will run into each other throughout the story, and after you finish the game as one character, you'll be able to go back and play as the other. Standard FBI weaponry will be available, as well as the ability to combine items in your inventory to create a new tool or weapon. To help set up the grim and creepy mood that the TV series is so famous for, the show's score and music will be used, as well as FMV scenes from several episodes. Do you believe in UFOs, ghosts, Bigfoot, and the moon landings? If so, you're ready for the X-Files, Resist or Serve.
Come on, Scully, you know the words. Sing with me.
If you're a hardcore fan of the TV series, then you'll realize that Resist or Serve is actually set during the 7th season of the show. Or is it? Now, are you like Mulder and me? Do you believe in aliens? Were moon landings faked? Are my tight shirts reverse engineered from alien technology? What do you believe? Well, log on to our message boards at g4tv.com/blister and let me know. Well, that's all the time we've got for this edition of Blister. I'm Bill Sindelar. We'll see you next time. Now get on out of here. Bye, everybody. See you later. I'll never do that again. Don't even email me. I know, okay? I'm with you. Log on to our message boards at G4TV. Come on. Aliens have taken over my voice. I can't speak. Just log on to the message boards and get on out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah. Anyway,